What's up, guys? My name is Fotis Nicolau, and this is the Calm and Profitable podcast show, where we talk about how you can enjoy more leads, sales, and profits without hating your good-looking self. So today we'll continue from where we left off last time, and we will continue to explain what's the best sexual position that's gonna increase your members size and also ensure you increase your testosterone. And yeah, I mean, obviously I'm trolling here. Uh, the topic last time was lessons that I've learned from sending 3,000 and more emails for myself and my clients. Not sending, I mean actually writing them, okay? Because sending, yeah, I mean, doesn't mean much. So there, I shared a few of the lessons last time, and yeah, I figured out that I could talk way more when it comes to email, since it's like one of my first loves in the business world. But yeah, I mean, it was a better idea to actually create like two parts for this. So here we are. Now, let's continue from where we left off. We have talked about the three types of emails that are like some of the best ones for you to use. My favorite one, and the one I suggest you use, is those entertaining personality-based emails. So the type of emails I send to my list, because people, that's like the main idea behind emails, like a personal communication between people. All right, and this is really gonna help you build a relationship with your list, and they'll also be willing to buy from you way more easily than if you used any other type of email. Then we also explain that you need to ideally send emails as frequently as possible. I suggest one per day. If you're actually having a launch, I suggest up to 4 or 6 a day. Personally, I have sent up to 6 emails on the last day of a launch, and yeah, believe it or not, you are gonna make way more money. You're gonna get a bunch of unsubscribes, but you don't care about those people either way, because yeah, I mean, why are they on your list in the first place? And then we also said that you want to have a CTA at the end of each one of your emails, whether that's like for them to check out a link, to ask you a question, to say they're interested in something you sell, to join a waiting list, whatever. You want to train people to actually take action whenever you send an email. All right, and those are the lessons. So today I would like to talk about something that's not 100% related to email, but it was like one of those like big aha moments I had. Now remember, email people are way more likely to buy from you, and it's a great idea to get insights from this type of piece of this audience, because you could pretty much get offer ideas. So in my case, I would, since I was emailing very often in my fitness business, and people would get back to me with perhaps like some questions, some comments, some complaints about my style, or like other things that were happening in the fitness industry. I would get I would also get email ideas, but more importantly, I would get product and services ideas that could benefit them. And this was like very eye-opening to me, because it's really hard to constantly come up with new offer ideas for your audience, but it's important to do so, because the minute someone buys from you and they trust you, they want to buy more from you, okay? And there was like this very bizarre phenomenon in my case, where people would buy from me. They would buy my fitness products, but they would use them. They would be like really happy with the results, and then they would ask me advice on relationship or business, because I also have like experience in those like fields. And yeah, it didn't make any sense if you think about it. I mean, here I was positioning myself as a fitness guy, but people would ask me, hey, I mean, how do you handle girls, or what do you do on your first dates, or I'm thinking of we have like this business with my brother and I, and we're facing some issues with our leads and sales. And like, can you help? Like, I even got like business opportunities sending fitness emails because people would ask if they could like consult me, if I could consult them on what to do with their businesses. It was like very interesting to see. I have heard this could happen like from some other people, but yeah, I mean, it's one thing to hear about it and it's an entirely different thing to experience it. So yeah, the more you communicate with your list and your audience via email, yeah, the more you will get an idea of what their needs are, and you could like really create some cool offers that are gonna resonate with them. And what's extra cool with email is that if you think about it, you can get an idea for an offer today, and you don't even need to actually create a sales page for it. You can just send an email saying something like this. Hey, I've been talking to a lot of you guys I've been talking to a lot of people recently about XYZ, I mean whatever problem you're solving, and it dawned on me that I can help you do this with a new offer that I'm thinking of putting together. Now, full disclosure, this offer is not ready yet, but since you're like you guys are part of my family, of my tribe, whatever you want to call them, I thought it would be like very cool to present this offer that I have in mind to you and invite you to invest in it for a much lower price that I would end up asking for whenever I release it. Now, and you can go from there. You could be like even more candid and say, this is not ready yet. You will have to prepay and I will make it, I will create it. This is the deadline. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people will show interest in it. So this will can really create an entirely new income source for you, especially if you rely on one product or one service, because yeah, a lot of people will be interested. And this was like really opening to me. And I know it's not like 100% like relevant to email, but it's one of those things that's going to happen when you are very that you communicate frequently with your list. You're very like honest with the fact that you want to help them. You position yourself as a thought leader because people want to follow thought leaders. And yeah, I mean, you will get like a lot of opportunities. Okay, and this is like one of the biggest lessons, and it's one of the most profitable lessons you can learn from email. Okay, people will give you ideas for stuff to create and sell to them, and in most cases they will gladly buy from you. Okay, so this was another big lesson for me. Another lesson now was that people like pay a lot of attention on completely useless email metrics, and this was like another eye-opening thing for me, because you will often hear people who don't have a lot of experience with email worry about stuff like, oh, open rates or click-through rates and whatever. And yeah, I mean, you need to monitor them to make sure that everything works okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing you want to care about is, okay, number one, sales, and then how often do people buy from you again through email. Those are like the two most important metrics, sales and how often do they buy again from you. Maybe you could also like make the case about, okay, what's the AOV whenever someone buys, aka average order value. You could probably fix those things a little bit with your emails. Maybe you could help an email give you a boost if you send people to a webinar or VSL sales page. Emails can definitely help, because I have personally seen an email do most of the selling job of a sales letter. So essentially, I would send an email that would really sell an offer really well, and people wouldn't even like check the offer. They would read the email, they would say, okay, I want to buy this. They would click to go to the sales page, and they will instantly buy. They wouldn't even like check the sales letter to see what it is we're getting. This was like a really this is like a really cool experience as well. So anyway, yeah, sales and yeah, I mean, all those monetary metrics, that's what you want to care about. Okay, you don't want to, you shouldn't care about like an increase of 3% on your open rates or a 0.1% increase in your click-through rates. Okay, you don't really care unless you're driving a lot. You're paying a lot of money every day for traffic, and you have everything else dialed in. Yes, you can care about those things, but most businesses don't have the systems in place. Okay, they don't have the infrastructure to care about those stuff. Okay, in most people's businesses, you will get a few leads here and there. Yeah, maybe you are gonna pay for traffic, but you're not gonna be generating 1,000 sales per day. You'll be generating way less. So in this case, you shouldn't worry about open rates and click-through rates that much. Sales are way more important. And if you also think about it, just because you have a high open rate, let's talk about open rates, doesn't mean that you also have a buying intent. So for example, you can write a subject line that says sex, okay, and you could probably get way more open rates than if you used like one of your normal subject lines. But does this really matter? Like, okay, some people might get annoyed. Okay, some people might think that, okay, this was like clickbait. They might get annoyed and they might unsubscribe, or they might even like press the spam button. You don't want this. You want like intentional attention. Okay, so you can do this with normal headline, with normal subject lines. Or to give you like another example, I talked in another podcast about the need to be discriminatory with your messaging, okay, and who you target. So let's say, for example, that you did a little bit of buyer research and figure out that most of the people in your email list are, let's say, they are CEOs, okay, working in different companies. But there's also gonna be some people who are not like CEOs. Maybe they're gonna be CMOs. Maybe they are like startup founders, whatever. If you have a subject line that says, if you are a CEO, open this, you will probably get less open rates than usual, because the other people who are not CEOs, they will ignore the subject line. But if you're trying to sell to CEOs, why do you care about like lower open rates? I mean, you will be signaling to the world that this email is for CEOs, aka the people you want to sell to. So this is going to be way more relevant. So again, you don't have to worry about open rates. And the same is true with click-through rates. Like, for example, I have done like a lot of tests where we're trying to generate a lot of clicks in emails. And let me tell you, you could send an email saying, click here, do just this. Yeah, you will get a lot of clicks, but I mean, do you want those type of clicks? Those people haven't read anything. They don't know, okay, what it is they're clicking. They have like, there has been no warming up to make them like be more receptive to whatever it is you're selling. I mean, you're just like driving curiosity driven clicks, and yeah, you will get a bunch. You will probably get the most amount of clicks you have ever gotten, but yeah, man, this really sucks. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do anything with this attention. And again, you might annoy people if there's like no congruency between your email and whatever sales page you send them to. So you have to be like really careful to not care about like useless metrics such as open rates and click-through rates. Again, yes, you wanna monitor them, okay? If suddenly your emails drop to 0 or they drop to like 5% and you're used to getting like 40% email open rates, yeah, probably you have like a spam issue, or your emails are landing on the promo tab. Yeah, that's great. You should fix this. But overall, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't care. I mean, my first email mentor, Ben Settle, says, I mean, the best thing you can do is to control whatever it is you can control. You cannot like control like getting a high open rate. or high click-through rates, but you can control like sending better emails, communicating with your list better, practicing every day. Those are things you can control, and I believe this is like great advice for everyone. All right, so that's that. Now, those are like some, again, just a few of the lessons that I've learned throughout the years after writing over like 3,000 emails for myself and my clients. And yeah, I mean, just like very quickly, I would like to touch on a few mistakes that I see people make. So probably the biggest one is to behave like a big faceless corporation. So in the from name, aka the name people see as the sender of the email, you're just gonna mention your company. So in my case, I would say Calm and Profitable instead of Fotiskes Nicolaou. Yeah, that's faceless. Again, remember, the point of the email is to communicate with people. That was like I think, I'm not sure, I mean, I'll probably have to go double check this on Google, Wikipedia, whatever, but people primarily use email to communicate with others, all right? So that's the goal. Okay, so you don't communicate with Calm and Profitable, you communicate with Fotiskes Nicolaou. Ideally, you also want your name in your from address. Maybe if you don't want to give your full name, maybe you could say, let's say, Mary from Calm and Profitable, but ideally, yeah, try and use your real name, try and use a name, try and communicate it. Hey, this is a real person talking to you, because people buy from people. Okay, they don't buy from faceless corporations. Again, unless you're like a very big corporation, yeah, I mean, this could work. But yeah, I mean, if you're like all of my clients, yeah, I mean, having this personal touch will resonate more with you. So yeah, be as personal as possible, and don't be afraid to email enough. It's like, yeah, I mean, the worst thing you can do is to send an email whenever you have something to say. I think this is bad. I mean, I would definitely make a schedule of sending an email at least like twice per week, if not more. I mean, again, I am a daily email type of guy. If your list is not that big, yeah, okay, it doesn't make sense to send like a daily email in most of the cases. But if it's like big, if it's over like 5,000 people, yeah. Okay, now supposedly I'm back. I had some issues with the microphone. So yeah, I mean, where was I? Sending, yeah, a daily email. So that's like very important. And then another mistake that I see a lot of people, and especially businesses, make is hiring noobs to write their emails. So noob is someone who just went through a course, or who read like a few articles, or even worse, they use ChatGPT to write emails. Those are like the worst type of people to rely on to have your emails written, because first of all, they have like zero skin in the game. As mentioned, email is something that's very personality driven. Okay, if you want to do email the right way, and if those people don't have like experience writing personality based emails, yeah, this is gonna reflect badly on you. All right. Ideally, you want someone who can go through your materials. They can pinpoint some unique phrases you have, maybe unique insights and ways of looking at things that's like very uniquely yours, and write emails around those topics, because they will make your emails stand out in the inbox a lot. And yeah, you cannot rely on someone who doesn't have like experience in those things. So yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. Not that that's all. I mean, I have even more. I have more too. I have more. There's a lot of noise out here. Let me pause for a second. So yeah, I mean, you need someone who has experience. I don't remember where I was, guys. Sorry for this. I mean, I have way more stuff to say about email. Maybe in the future I will do more podcasts. But yeah, I mean, that's all for today. Now, let's not forget the glorious call to action. Go to calmandprofitable.com and grab your 10-minute post-launch profits formula. This is a tiny but very powerful report that's great if you just launch, or you're gonna launch a mid or high ticket offer to your email list. It's something that I use with clients and with my own businesses to increase sales by up to 30%. Okay, yes, 30%, 30%. So it's a very cool method that you can use as soon as today. It only takes like up to 10 minutes of work, and ideally you will have someone from your team do this. And yeah, it would be very cool to hear your experience if you actually apply the information. So again, go to calmandprofitable.com, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.